Travis went good, so I just did a whole video. It was only 10 minutes long, but still, I had the headphones plugged in, so ruined the sound quality. So I gotta do it again. There's no way I'm gonna remember exactly the same form of fashion. I'm sure most of you have heard about the shooting in the gay bar last night or the night before, in which many of you were probably wishing that the federal government had signed into law the marriage rights for LGBTQ. And I'm sorry, but it was a trap by the church. They purposely put in the pork, is what it's called, that exempts the church from allowing gay marriage. And if they were a regular religion, yeah, no big deal. Who cares? But the church is not a religion. It's a corporation. They have many businesses and operations that they are forced to pay people for. They can't get the freed slave labor for. And this will allow the church to exclusively hire temple-worthy Mormons who've paid their tithing in full. And all the church had to do was just keep quiet. They kind of blew it by putting out a statement of approval for the bill, as then it was learned that the church was the architects of it. The Deseret News even. And so, yeah, I had sent off emergency alerts to the federal government through my filings and to warn them that what the church was doing. Because what it means is that LGBTQ and everyone else who's involved in a marriage that the church disapproves of, even divorces, will not be allowed in Utah. This is why the church has been buying up lands for temples and businesses, and not just in Utah but around the world. This is why they've not had a justifiable reason to build temples in these foreign lands, because there's not enough members. This, on the outside, if all things were to continue normally, the church would experience a financial collapse, because they're spending more than they're able to take in. Unfortunately, we know better, and that the church is indeed able to pay for all of this. But their purpose, as we now realize, is to restore their Zion, which will be exclusively Mormon, worthy, temple-paying, tithing-paying Mormons. And it's sad that Mormons are in denial, and that they spew hate, are incited to hate and violence by the church to defend the church's criminal activities and seditious conspiracy to overthrow America. Because the kingdom of Zion has to exist independent of the United States. And as the Civil War did not occur, as the Book of Mormon said it wouldn't, they had to do Plan B, which was compromise senators to pass this exempt clause bill. He then goes and lights up. I'm too sick to go outside and wait for the fire department to find out that there is no fire, that it was just some dumbass who lit his lighter. But the church's plan of salvation has been altered from Joseph Smith's version, as Joseph Smith had 3 kingdoms of glory, but this church has turned those other 2 kingdoms of glory into hell, the Christian version of heaven and hell, and that only those who are in a polygamous relationship, man and women, are allowed to go to the highest degree of celestial kingdom. Everybody else is in hell. And I don't think ex-Mormons are quite catching on, because a lot of ex-Mormons are going into Christianity with Jesus. But that just shows that you were brainwashed by the church, and that brainwashing continues into your ex-Mormon life. You're not able to recognize the Socratic method and principles of logic and scientific methodology. And thus you're continually getting played, not just in your false interpretations of church history that you get mad at me for, just like a Mormon gets mad at me for. Again, you've left Mormonism, but Mormonism hasn't left you. You've got to fully purge yourself of all things Mormon. That means mentally as well. All of your mental manipulations by the church have to be purged out of you. And yes, you need to be re-educated, reprogrammed, but through logic, scientific methodology, and the Socratic method. That will help you pursue the truth, rather than an incorrectly defined conspiracy theory. And it's horrifying to see the church being this sneaky and evil, that they have such low regard for human life, that they have no interest in granting other people their rights, that if it's not the church's rights of the celestial higher law of Jesus, that therefore it's wrong and they have to take away your agency. And it's a horrifying situation that we're faced with these days. And we are in a situation where Mormons, if they don't wake up, will not understand what happened when the government has to say, all right, the church has gone too far, we have to shut them down again. Mormons will go into denial, just like the FLDS Church of Warren Jeffs went into denial when their living prophet of Jesus is locked away in prison for the rest of his life for his horrifying atrocities and abominations. Mormons don't see it, just as their membership does not see it. They think they're just being persecuted for their religious freedom. And it's not just about polygamy. It was child brides and government benefit frauding and child labor. And these are the things that Brigham Young practiced when he had his church here in the valley. Was practicing in secret as the secret band of Gadianton within Joseph Smith's church, that Joseph Smith knew and condemned, but again, they murdered him so that they could take over his church. But we are literally witnessing the church's attempts to coup our government by being exempt from from obeying the laws. Honoring, obeying, and sustaining the laws. Is that what is the wording on the Article of Faith number 12? Obeying, honoring, and sustaining the law, regardless of what nation we're in. Now, obviously, we don't obey unrighteous laws, like the church did for Nazi Germany under Hitler. But, yeah, yay. This is where we're at. I've warned you all this time that the church is the great and abominable church, and that they are the enemy of the people. And the church purposely incites Mormons to defend the church regardless of the crimes that the church commits. Inciting the Mormons to hate and to violence, to attack, to use fallacy argument, denialism. I mean, everybody can see the church is not good, that they're in violation of many laws, and yet the church is so rich and powerful that they've leveraged the state of Utah with Mormons in key positions of government all throughout the land, as well as in the federal government, deceiving them. Because they don't care about the church. It's not their church. They just assume that the church is a religion. Well, now they're starting to wake up and realize, oh crap, the church is actually part of the seditious conspiracy that Travis has warned us about all these years. But, yeah.